Welcome to the 10th anniversary of Christmas at the... No. Guys, can we get the lights on? Hang on one second. Welcome to the 10th anniversary of Christmas at the Fort, presented by Trinity Health System. Much better, right? Thank you so much for joining us. For our time together, we are going to be taking a behind-the-scenes look at how volunteers help Christmas at the Fort come to life. And this year is bigger and better than ever before. Christmas at the Fort began in 2015 on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. It began as the home for the Steubenville Nutcracker Village and has evolved into the independent Christmas at the Fort. In 2015, the holiday event consisted of only the lighting of the tree and a few vendors. And now, in 2024, the event features performances, movies, fireworks, puppet shows, food vendors, gift shops, a kid zone, and the fort itself remains open. And although time has progressed, tradition lives on. Christmas at the Fort has been going on beyond the 10 years that we are celebrating this year. And an example of that is the restoration of Santa's sleigh. Years ago, Dr. Pat Macedonia and his family donated an old-time horse-drawn pull sleigh to the fort. And throughout the years of wear and tear, the sleigh was not in good shape. But with the help of volunteers, it's getting the repair it deserves.
Walt Winsky from Dillonville, Ohio, took it in, babied it, put it back, took it apart and put it back together, painted it. And Jody Glob has bought a reindeer that can pull the sleigh that's big enough.
The sleigh will be available for children and adults to climb into and get photos. And the sleigh's restoration was made possible by Howard Bowers Contracting. Now let's take a look at another tradition, the train around the tree with News 9's Paul Gianamore.
It's all aboard for fun and a way to say thank you to the sponsors of all the good things happening at Fort Steuben for Christmas this year. Jody Glob of the Center of Music and Art and the Center's Art Department, including Gerald and Kennedy, are busy crafting a train with the area sponsors headed down the track.
Years ago, my employees at Atlas Gas did one of these trains for me and had the exact logo of the train and everything. And I said, that might be something the sponsors like also. And they did.
So the fun kids of all ages have seeing a train going around the Christmas tree will be included at Fort Steuben this year, thanking the many sponsors of Christmas at the Fort. You can see how many you know and enjoy the gentle passing of an electric train bringing back Christmas memories.
I'm looking forward to this Christmas. We have a lot of great ideas, a lot of happy things happening at the Fort this Christmas, and I'm looking forward to it.
And again, you'll get to see this train and put a smile on your face around the big tree at the Fort come Christmas time.
Creations at the Fort take months of preparation to make, including these trees right here. There's about 50 of them here at Historic Fort Steuben, thanks to Sign America and the Hilty family. And News 9's Jessica Riley gets a behind-the-scenes look at how they're made.
You see this little tree in its final product stage, but it was made many miles away from here in a shop. With a lot of hard work, let's take a few steps back to see how it was created.
Okay, so this tree basically is our concept. It was made out of Luan plywood, but we needed something that's more durable, weather resistant, because the product is going to end up being downtown Steubenville at Christmas time with lights in it.
The first step in the process is the tree being created through software on a computer.
She's taken a program called FlexiSign, and she's actually rearranged the shape of the tree.
With the program, they are able to maximize the product while also strategically placing 125 holes for LED lights. From the program, they are able to then create the cutout, which makes its way to what is called a router table.
This table right here is actually, it's a three-axis system, so it's going left and right and back and forth and up and down, so like X, Y, Z.
And with the help of technology, every tree is perfectly trimmed.
It right now is putting the holes in for all of the LED light bulbs. After all of those holes are placed and put in, then the machine is programmed and it'll bounce around and it will cut out the silhouette then of the Christmas tree.
From the router table, the trees then are ready for the finishing touches, which include a hand-placed gold star right on top.
All I'm doing is spraying soapy water on the vinyl a little bit on the face. Now, because there are pre-drilled holes, I'm going to cut the vinyl where those holes are out, and then that is all we do in here.
And once the tree has its finishing touches and sharp edges, it will then move to its next destination. For now, I'm Jessica Riley.
The trees traveled from the factory to Scott Campbell at M&M Hardware. This is where Campbell helped install the lights on the decorations. The trees then landed in the classroom, where Big Red students put in the work to decorate all of them. Main Office Secretary April Minifield took on the task to design 50 trees for the holidays. Using her Cricut and picking out the designs, the other 2 secretaries and 10 students worked on the decorations.
My favorite part, I love crafting, is working with the kids and doing something for the community. I'm always around helping.
They took many days to complete. They were super fun to do, just to watch them come together. I really do like seeing all the different ornaments that we use, and I can't wait to see how all the people of Steubenville feel as they're set up at Fort Steuben.
They're really nice, and it was fun making them with other people. And seeing how they look and stuff with the lights.
And those trees can be found all over historic Fort Steuben. Campbell says the community really came together in order to make this project happen. Christmas at the Fort is new and bigger and better than ever. You don't want to miss it, and we have more coming up. So many performances are going to be taking place at the Fort this year in this brand new tent that's going to have heating and flooring thanks to Smitty's Flooring and Cedar One Realty. We caught up with organizers to learn more. Christmas at the Fort will highlight many different performances over the month of Christmas.
We're going to have Jeff Jimmerson Show at the amphitheater on the 30th. We've got lots of little groups and things in between.
The month is filled with music performances all throughout, including the Wheeling Symphony Orchestra on December 8th and the Traveling Witkowskis on December 6th.
The Traveling Witkowskis is basically me and my wife, Debbie. We were going to travel all the way from Marland Heights in Weirton, West Virginia, over to the Fort to sing your favorite Christmas songs. And our whole vibe is having people sing with us.
The event in Steubenville is another part of our WSO on the Go outreach series, where we go to different communities, bring our musicians to the orchestra's fans in other cities.
The performances will happen in a brand new heated tent. For a full list of performances, head to visitsteubenville.com for the 2024 Christmas at the Fort schedule, and stay with News 9 as we will update you on the performances each week throughout the month of December. And a special thank you to Casey Johnson at State Farm for sponsoring the Wheeling Symphony, and Ferguson's House of Furniture for sponsoring Jeff Jimmerson. I also got to speak with Steubenville native Mark Eddy ahead of his performance here at the Fort, taking place December 7th at 5:30. Take a look.
I grew up in the Ohio Valley. I am from Steubenville, originally, my hometown. Grew up on Laybell Hill way back in the day. My good buddy Carlo Vull, who's originally from Weirton, plays in bands all over the place, and he's just a rock and roll machine. Everybody in the Ohio Valley knows Carlo. He's a wild man, and he's my best buddy, and he's gonna be on the stage with me. Christmas time in Steubenville was always special. My mom would be making holiday soup, and Grandma would be yelling about, it's like, oh my gosh.
Mark's performance is made possible by Anthony Mining. And in order to spread that Christmas cheer for all to hear, the Fort has invited students from Steubenville Big Red to take part in their own special day. News 9's Bill Steinbach has more.
December 13th is Steubenville School Days, where multiple school bands, arts, and more will be participating in the festivities, including Steubenville Big Red High School.
It's always a great thing to be able to get out and perform for the community and for our fans. They really come out in droves. They were here for Varsity Show, and they support us like none other.
2024 is the first year for this event, and students in the band say they're excited to be able to perform in front of the community in such a festive atmosphere.
We are just beyond blessed and thankful to have an amazing support system and also amazing directors by our side.
We always, try our best to be the best band present, whether it's a competition, whether it's a show. anything, even at a game, you know, it's not just about the football for us, it's about being the best band there.
The music selection will be some holiday classics as the students will perform Friday, December 13th, starting at 5 p.m. ahead of the choirs and orchestra performances.
We'll be playing some of our holiday parade song music, and also we'll have our drum line there. We'll have a few Christmas or holiday type songs in there, but it'll be songs that people I think will recognize.
Another new performance this year at the Fort is the Fort Steuben Nutcracker Drumline. Yeah! But I will leave the drumming up to the kids and to their director, Bill Cashdollar, as we learn more now.
Several Valley schools get together, all their drummers come together, and we have one giant combined drum line doing Christmas music of all varieties. They take turns doing their own cadences. We do a big combined line, and it's a really good opportunity for all of the schools to get together and get to know one another.
And the drumline will take place on December 14th at 4 o'clock. Coming up, we're going to be seeing a lot of new things added to the Fort, including something like this. The projection mapping brought to us by Tom Gentile of Ohio River Collieries and Express Care Car Wash. Welcome back. Now students are doing more than marching and building. They're also programming. Take a look with News 9's Jessica Riley.
At Christmas at the Fort this year, you will see a multitude of trees, including this 8-foot mega tree that was programmed with the help of Big Red students.
My part was to have my students program the light shows for this 8-foot mega tree. 32 strands of lights, and each strand has 50 LEDs on it. And you can program them to be pretty much any color you want. You can make custom colors. Some of the students took advantage of that and blended colors together.
Using a new software, Burkett and his class learned how to sequence the whole tree.
So we've been using the X-Lights program. We can use it to program lights on a tree, and how it works is you take like a song or anything like that, any sort of like sound, and you use different sequences of lights, and you can change the timing and everything.
A tree part and a star part. And that's where you add all your colors, and then this is the beats for your music. So if you want to put it on beat, you can for when the light changes.
And the kids say being a part of the process makes visiting the Fort more special.
I feel like it's going to be pretty good because, you know, like I'm doing something that for people's entertainment, because, you know, people probably like to watch this, and not just me, but other programs too.
Reporting for News 9, I'm Jessica Riley.
Another new surprise is this Christmas pyramid at the Fort. News 9's Jamie Ely has a behind-the-scenes look at how it was made.
Based off a German tradition from the 7th century, woodworker Walt Winsky says building the pyramid was a community effort.
I mean, it's a challenge to do. You know, I've had a couple friends, Jim, help me work on it, and a couple other businesses actually giving parts and, you know, donating parts and time to make it all come together.
Beginning as the brainchild of First Westminster Church's Reverend Jason Elliott, in collaboration with M&M Hardware Scott Campbell, the pyramid was meant as a way of celebrating community.
We had this idea of how we would, you know, try to present a gift that would really reflect some of the culture in Steubenville.
As Winsky says, the pyramid means more than just being a surprise for the Fort.
Just giving back to the community and all, and Scott is in the First Westminster Church. They're really involved with the Fort and all, and Christmas is a big holiday for them and me, you know, and it's just a great time for family to see this.
Now this Christmas pyramid will be up throughout the whole duration of the event at Fort Steuben. From Jefferson County, I'm Jamie Ely, News 9.
Something also new at the Fort is the Kids Zone and some fun interactive opportunities for you. The addition of 6 photo board cutouts are placed all around historic Fort Steuben, and M&M Hardware Scott Campbell says that these boards are just another touch of Christmas joy that might make your loved ones laugh. The boards are part of the Kids Zone at the Fort this year, which is made possible by Valerie and Vance Vukolik. And being in the Kids Zone, we have to mention something that we've worked so hard for over the years, our Coats for Kids campaign. Skylar Savansky has more.
Keeping kids in the community warm one coat at a time is the goal of the Coats for Kids campaign. Together, we can provide brand new coats to help children and families stay warm and safe this winter.
For 30 years, WTOV9 has been proud to partner with the Salvation Army for the WTOV9's Coats for Kids to raise funds to allow children in need to purchase their own brand new coat.
I think it's had a great impact, and the families look forward to it each year. So to be able to be part of it again this year has just been fantastic for us.
Eric Roberts, Corps Officer at the Weirton Salvation Army, joined the ministry in June and has heard about the great impact Coats for Kids has on the community.
I've heard the good things that have happened through this program, and people have said, I remember you helping me out with Coats for Kids. And so it's just a wonderful thing to partner with.
And now the Cedar One group is joining the mission.
We can help in some way to give this kid a coat for the wintertime. We're all for it, and not only for the warmth, but also gives the kid a little bit of confidence to come to school the next day with some new clothes.
The campaign's goal is $50,000, and your support is needed. So far, $14,000 has been raised.
I think we live in a great area, and the support's been fantastic.
And we want that support to continue. Now through December 3rd, you can donate online by scanning this QR code on your screen or by mailing checks to Cedar One Group located at 2728 Sunset Boulevard. Also on December 3rd, the National Day of Giving or Giving Tuesday, we here at WTOV9 and a number of Cedar One agents will be at various Cedar One locations covering the incoming donations. All donations above $2,500 will receive special recognition. So join us to help make a difference here in the Ohio Valley.
Coming up, we're thanking the volunteers who made Christmas at the Fort come to life.
There are going to be over 20 different vendors in these chalets right here joining us at the fort. And Chief Meteorologist Jeff Exline caught up with one in the kitchen for an episode of Cooking Up a Storm.
We're cooking up a storm. Actually, we're baking up a storm for the holidays. And joining me in the Cooking Up a Storm kitchen is Mel and Chris from Harp and Habit in Steubenville. And you guys we're getting ready for the big 10-year celebration at the fort for Christmas. You're going to be partaking in that. We're making cheesecake today. And you're going to be selling cheesecake at the fort, right?
Yep. Yeah, so we have our menu down at the fort will be our cheesecake. We have Irish potato soup, some hot chocolate.
Hot cider.
It's a very light affair. And you guys brought some Prosecco from the restaurant as well. So we got, this is the first, I don't know, I'm making cheesecake with Prosecco.
It's a tradition, Mel.
Yes. So Mel, you're the sort of the GM there. You're the one that handles all the, and which I think, and Chris, by the way, is the owner, which I think is amazing because there are so many restaurants these days that do not make their own desserts, and you guys make your own desserts, which is fantastic.
Yeah, a luxury we have is Mel used to own her own baking company, and so we get all of her goodies.
Desserts are time consuming, and a lot of places just don't have the time to devote to them. So I understand why they do it, but you can come to our place and have a house-made dessert, and it's just the elevated taste, the elevated experience of having that sort of dessert is so different.
Different displays like these were donated and built by our volunteers here at the fort, like this one from Jody Glob. Now we want to thank all of our volunteers for their endless hard work in order to make this holiday season special.
Whether it's putting up the tree, placing the garlands around certain edges, or making a list and checking it twice, the volunteers at Historic Fort Steuben do it for us every single year.
We love the area, we love Steubenville, and it's a great place to live, and so why not help as much as we can in the community and where we can.
I look at it like Santa's workshop. You got Santa, and this is Santa, and maybe a foreman or whatever, but everybody else, all those little elves are out there making it work, making it happen, and that's what happens here.
Preparation is good to 6 to 8 weeks, and then we have the 4 weeks of the event, and people are busy almost every day, at least 4 or 5 hours a day.
Volunteers like Roger Hilty and his family have donated time and money to make Christmas happen. So much so that he and his wife will serve as the Grand Marshal of this year's Steubenville Christmas Parade. Judy Bratton, Jody Glob, Earl Tuttle, and Melinda Young have also spent hours of their time planning, mapping, and getting young ones involved in the prep.
As one of our volunteers said, this is an event that is overflowing joy.
Gary Kessler has given so much to the event and says that it's because for many, Christmas extends beyond the festive lights and presents.
So you have seen this fort come to life at Christmas time many of times.
I have. In fact, that building up there, the original land office, was down on Stanton Boulevard. I met my wife. She lived on Stanton, so I spent a lot of days on her porch looking at that federal land office.
This year's Christmas parade will be in honor of Kessler's late wife, Betty. Now, Larry and Larry met while doing Garland 10 years ago and say that the activity has made them friends.
So do you always volunteer to do this part?
Yeah.
The two of you?
Yeah.
How long have you guys been doing this?
Almost since it started.
And we haven't forgotten about the man who calls the fort his home.
When I came in this morning and you see all this stuff here, it's so rewarding, so acknowledging of those people that have put so much time in here.
And remember that because of these volunteers, every concert, activity, and entrance at the fort is absolutely free of charge.
Thank you so much for joining us for the 10th anniversary of Christmas at the Fort, presented by Trinity Health System. We really hope you can find time this holiday season to come down and celebrate and enjoy all that the Fort has to offer. Thank you again, and Merry Christmas.